Shalom, Ka'ala Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Ruach Kodash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, who are the house of David, reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians, who before losing their true heritage were known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about some saber rattling coming from Iran, which is ultimately going to lead up to World War III. But let's read this first. This is Joel 3:9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. So recently, Iran has been building up their rhetoric coming up against America, okay? And what happened, this actually happened yesterday, right? Iran airs disturbing propaganda clip of the IRGC blowing up the Capitol building. Right? And that's the Capitol building that's in Washington State, D.C. Right? They actually got the clip from that movie Angel Is Fallen, right? Where that movie where they show Washington D.C. gets attacked by those South Korean terrorists, right? But they actually used it in their inspirational propaganda video that was aired after a speech by some of their leaders. Now we're actually going to watch the video so you can see it was pretty corny, but for the most part you could tell it's something that these Iranians are going to basically they eat the shit up, right? It's you're going to see it's pretty visceral in what it's showing, man. But let's go ahead and read this article, right? But actually before I read it, what I wanted to say about that video, man, it's even though it's corny, right? It actually shows that these Medes, right? These Persian Medes, right? Because ultimately that's Iran. Before they were known as Iran, they actually were known as the Persians, right? And also before just Persia, they were known as the Persian Median Empire. Okay, and eventually the Persians had taken over and stuff, and they just became known as the Persian Empire, and so on and so on. But this is all part of that prophecy that I just read to you, man, right? Where the Lord was going to stir up the spirit of these heathens, man, these other nations, to come up against Babylon the Great, that being America, okay? And this would all culminate in what we know as World War III, or what the Bible refers to as Armageddon, okay? So everything I'm reading here is all, highlighting how this is prophecy literally playing out in front of our eyes. But let's go and read the article. It says, Iran's powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, right, the IRGC, is stoking tensions once again as the Iranian Foreign Ministry is engaged in continued indirect nuclear talks with the U.S. in Vienna. Early this week, releasing a short video clip that featured an imagined missile attack on the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. The footage aired on Iranian state television on the occasion of a major Sunday speech by the Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei on the heroism of Iran's Revolutionary Guard. Set to patriotic music, the video further appears to be a tribute to the slain IRGC Quds Force commander Qasem Soleimani, killed in the U.S. drone strike early last year. Right? And here's the actual video. We're going to watch it, but one thing, I'm going to lower the music, but I'm going to go ahead and just read the subtitles, because it's the subtitles and what the actual song is saying that I want you to pay attention to, namely the part where it says that the way is made already for them, that they should attack. But let's go and watch this. Let me go ahead and make this into a full screen, and let's go and watch.
شادی سلیمانی به شهر چشمان بارانی رها کردی عاشقانت را میان دریای طوفانی نحن المنتقمون نحن المتحدون نحن المنتقمون نحن المتحدون نحن المنتقمون نحن المتحدون علی امروز سپاه علوی میخواهد رهبری ملت بیدار و قوی میخواهد با سپاه علوی کاخ ستم شد ویران میرسد مژده آزادی قدس از ایران.
Listen to that, man. Did you see that? There you go. You see, because these Iranians, man, they actually understand. They understand that they actually understand that the people over there in the land of Jerusalem are not the Israelites, right? This is where that whole supposed anti-Semitic remark from their old leader, the saying that the Jewish people shouldn't exist, right? That's where that comes from, because they actually understand that the people over in the land of Israel right now are not the true Israelites, right? They actually understand that the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians, they understand that we are the true Israelites, right? And this is where this line comes from. The good tidings of Jerusalem's liberation comes from Iran, right? And that's also because these people, right, just like the elites of the world, they understand the prophecies of the Bible. They understand their role in what is to come. This is why they are very boastful and proud as far as what they're going to do. Now we're going to get into a little bit more as far as what they're going to do, but let's just continue watching. Here he goes. The path and the land are ready. Let us go. Okay, now notice that right there where it says the path. Okay, now what are they talking about when they say the path? Well, that right there is talking about a prophecy spoken about in Revelation 16 and 12. It says, and the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, and the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. Right now, who is the kings of the east? Okay, who is the kings of the east? Right, that's talking about Iran and all those who are coming with them. Okay, and those are the kings of the east, right? Because they are to the east of Jerusalem. Okay, now this thing here talking about the Euphrates and the rivers being dried up. Well, why is that? Right? What does that mean? Well, that literally means that the rivers of Euphrates are going to be dried up. Now, if you've been looking at the details, now let's go and take a look. This is from 2009. Okay, this shows you over a decade ago that the Euphrates has been drying up. Now, I'm not going to go into all these articles, right? Because, you know, I just need to kind of show you from this Google search. This highlight is good enough. It says the Euphrates is drying up, strangled by the water policies of Iraq's neighbors, Turkey and Syria, a 2-year drought, and years of misuse by Iraq and its farmers. The river is significantly smaller than it was just a few years ago. Some officials worry that it could soon be half of what it is now. Now that was in 2009, Hakim. Okay, over a decade ago. Now when you go down, look at this, right? Here you go. In 2020, just last month, it says the river's water levels in northern Syria have fallen dramatically. In Arab media, Turkey it is responsible for drying up the Euphrates, right? So you see all this, Akyam, even when it says that the angel dried up the Euphrates River, this is what it's talking about, man. All those things that are happening in our realm, in this third dimensional plane which we inhabit, right? All these issues of the farmers misusing the water, the Iraqi government, you know, mismanaging it, the Syrians and the Turkeys, causing water depletion because of the usage of the dams up there. All this is what's causing the Euphrates to dry up. All right, here goes another one. The rivers of Iraq above all the Tigris and the Euphrates are drying up. The country is becoming more arid, and desertification is eating into the limited soil. I think that's what it said. Right, and then here goes in 2020, crisis in the Crescent. right? They're talking about the Fertile Crescent, which is basically right there from Jerusalem to Babylon, right? And this is from NASA, the NASA.gov website, right? And let's see, and it goes on, and this just shows you, man, right? Here's it says Syria water levels in Euphrates rivers falls to record low, right? And ultimately here goes let's see, the Middle East is going to run out of water, fair observer. It says, and this is in 2019, it says rivers of dust, the future of water in Middle East. Tigris and Euphrates rivers come together in what is today Iraq, and those rivers are drying up, partly because of overuse. Okay, so that's enough. So that shows you, man, that shows you that what is actually happening over there is actually you know, prophecy playing out, right? And to this video, that's what this is talking about, man. The path. That's the brother who always sends out daily scriptures, man. It's beautiful about, but you know, let's get back to this video, right? But that's what this video is talking about, man. It says the path and the land are ready, let us go, right? So these heathens, right, they have been stirred up. They have turned their plowshares into swords. And who are those swords going against? Well, they are going against you know, the Amalekites, the Edomites that are in the land of Jerusalem. This is why you're hearing about so many attacks and bombings from the Israelis, who are bombing all these other people and who are sabotaging all these Iranian nuclear bases, killing off these nuclear scientists. And that's because they understand that their time is short. This is also another reason why you're seeing all these agendas being pushed in the world. The agenda to jab everybody, which is eventually going to lead to trying to microchip everybody, right? You see, right now the Lord is speeding up the time, and He's making all these things fall upon the head of Edom, and He's scrambling, people, right? You're seeing the fall of the Edomite Empire before your eyes, and a lot of people out there are worried more about you know, Beyonce showing up in a Selena you know, show than what's actually happening in the real world, man, right? But let's go and continue watching this video and just, you know, being amazed, Akim. And there you go, right? Even though that was a bit corny, man, that right there is what these heathens, man, they eat this stuff up, man, right? That got them, you know, riled up, man. You know, it's what literally is calling the nation to arms, man. Let's continue what the article says. It says, during the middle of the song, a ballistic missile is seen launched from the Iranian desert, and that's when a brief and shocking clip of the missile scoring a direct hit on the U.S. Capitol is featured, with the building immediately engulfed in flames, right? And it says, Newsweek describes the central message of Tehran's leadership as follows. It says, the footage of the fake attack also comes, and this is actually the image that they're talking about here, right? And if you know your movies, man, you know that this comes from that movie, Angel Has Fallen. I believe that's what that movie's called, Angel Has Fallen, or Olympus Has Fallen. But let's go back to this. This says the footage of the fake attack also comes out of the same day Iran's president Hassan Rouhani declared the U.S. had lost its economic war against this country, saying the sanctions against Iran are at the brink of extermination. His rhetoric painting a grim picture of the prospect of the two nations reaching a mutual agreement on the revived Iran nuclear deal. For much of the past week, Iranian officials have issued surprisingly optimistic assessments of where things are headed in Vienna, saying that Washington is prepared to drop Trump-era sanctions, while Biden officials have in their statements put the brakes on, strongly suggesting any kind of final understanding is still far off. The other interesting aspect of the timing of the IRGC's propaganda video is that it comes on the heels of the Zarif Gate leaked audio scandal, wherein Foreign Minister Javad Zarif is heard criticizing national hero Qasem Soleimani, while also accusing the military and the IRGC in particular of often sabotaging diplomacy. right? That's important. We're going to talk about that right now. WWIII basically admitted in the audio leak that the powerful IRGC runs the country and even overrides government decisions, something which has never been so bluntly confessed to by a top Iranian official. So the new video of the US Capitol burning could be an attempt to save face after the embarrassing WWIII leaked interview ordeal and the return of the usual bellicose threats. Right now, what that ultimately means, man, is that these people, these military leaders of Iran are the real power, right? The real leaders of Iran, which isn't far-fetched, because realistically, in every country, the military power technically is always the head of the serpents, man. Over here in America, do you really think Biden controls everything? No, man. The real leaders of America, right, as far as strategic-wise and logistics-wise, is going to be the military, man. They're the ones who have the power, just like in ancient Rome, man, right? It wasn't the senators in the capital of Rome. It was the generals leading the armies, man. Just look at the historic telling of Caesar when he marched, past the the Tigris River, right? And he marched into what does it say? Marching past the Tigris River, or basically it's become a idiom for passing, or passing further than you can return back and stuff, right? Well, that right there shows you, man, that the military forces have always been in power, right? And as it tells you here from that leaked video or leaked audio, man, that they've even said that these IRGC, generals have sabotaged diplomacies in the past. And why is that? Because you see these diplomatic leaders of Iran who are saying things are going to be okay. They don't have control, man. They are not the ones who set the agenda, right? It is the leaders of the military that are setting the agenda. And what are those military, the agenda saying? Well, they're saying that they're going to avenge their fallen general, this Soleimani character, okay? Right? And not only are they adamant about it from what they've shown in this video, but the Bible prophesies that this is going to happen, folks. Right? Revelations 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Okay? So we are on the verge of World War III, Akim. Right? We will be living through World War III. Right? Get that into your head, right? That you will see the start of the Third World War in your lifetime. Okay, all these army buildups around the world, all coming into the Middle East. That's biblical prophecy, right? And one thing that you're in this one video that you just seen here, this is just another example of how this war is going to continue to build up until it finally ends up with the first shot, that's going to be heard around the world, man. And that's when the war is going to break out. And chances are that's more likely going to be after they make this chip mandatory, right? This chip that they want you to get to verify your jab status, people. Right? So, with all that, hopefully this video was edifying and it was a nice update on, the progression to this world war that we are soon to come upon. So, get right, Akim, right? And for those of you out there who have stumbled upon this video, understand that this is all biblical. Regardless of what you believe, the Bible stands true. All right, Akim? So until the next time, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yoshai, Bashem Kokodash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.